First of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here this afternoon. I'd like to thank all the personnel from NDN and MPI for having us here hosting this media event today. To our Congressmen Reyes and Cuellar, thank you all, gentlemen, from taking time out from your busy schedules to be here with us today. Just want to know how come my congressman ain't here today, but I think I know what the answer to that one is. But anyways. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Brownsville, Texas. And before I make any statements as to how safe the City of Brownsville is, I think I need to give you a little bit of my background because I think that qualifies and gives credibility to what I'm about to say. I was born and raised in the City of Brownsville. I grew up I got educated to the public schools. I graduated from our local college. I served the Marine Corps for 4 years, and then I came back and I joined the police department in 1981. I've been a member of the Brownsville Police Department for over 30 years. I've been the chief of police for the last 10 years. So what I'm about to say is based on experience, based on living on a border town or a border city, in which I am very proud to call my home. Brownsville is on pace right now to have a 12% reduction in crime compared to last year. I don't think Brownsville has ever been safer than it has been in the last several years. And a lot of work has gone into that, not just by us, but also by the federal agencies. It is important to note that the City of Brownsville is approximately about 176,000 in population. We have doubled our population in the last 10 years. And that doesn't include people that actually avoid from being counted as part of the census. So sometimes we feel like we're close to 250,000 in population. We have 3 points of entry within 3 miles of each other that brings in a lot of people from Mexico to visit, to shop, to work, and of course at one point a lot of us went into Mexico to visit, to shop, and to eat. Of course, a lot of that has gone away because of the situation in Mexico. The violence that is being reported across the country along the border is in Mexico. Not in Brownsville, not in Laredo, not in Hidalgo County. It's in Mexico. Have we had isolated incidents? Yes, we have. But we've had those years ago. And from experience, we were experiencing 20 homicides a year back in the late 1980s, early 1990s. For the last 10 to 15 years, we are on average about 5 to 6 homicides a year. Back then, at least 50% of those homicides we could directly relate to cartel issues on the Mexican side. Now, the only isolated incident that we've had in the last 2 years was a double homicide that we can actually say that was cartel related. Other than that, Brownsville is a safe city. We continue to form our partnerships, not only with the community, but with our federal law enforcement agencies, because it's very important to understand that they have their responsibility to secure our borders, and they are our first line of defense to securing our country, our borders. But as local law enforcement, we are the first line of defense to our community. When a person calls 911, they don't get a federal agency to respond. They're getting their local police officers to respond to their need at the time. And that's why it's important to note that, and to our congressmen, I say this, that let's not lose focus of the partnerships that we have formed throughout the years with our federal agencies, and that we need to sustain that. But also, as they continue to invest in securing our borders, they need to also understand, and I think they have, and that's where all of this is going to, is that an investment in local law enforcement is very, very important, because whatever the federal agencies are not able to apprehend or detect, that winds up in the laps of the local law enforcement. A murder, a burglary, a robbery that we can attribute to cartel-related issues is going to be investigated by local law enforcement, whether it's the city police or the sheriff's office. And that's where an investment needs to continue to be made. When we met with Secretary Napolitano this morning, and she mentioned about the American Jobs Act and the $5 billion that's, hopefully will be invested in that, I would hope that the majority of that money goes to local law enforcement, especially along the border, because that's where it's needed. And I think in order for us to be able to maintain and continue to say that we're a safe city or a safe border, is that a lot of that money needs to go back in there. And that investment needs to be in local law enforcement, because that, at the end of the day, the person calling 911 is calling local law enforcement, and it's not calling anybody